Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to To Be Determined. Today we have a God Potions update, so they've completely reworked how God Potions worked, as well as how enchants work. So if you guys end up enjoying, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's jump straight into it. Alright, so if we go to the hub and get our hands on a God Potion, you can see they look a little bit different now. It tells you the exact duration that the God Potion is going to have, but that's not really the main thing that was changed about it. If we go over to the bartenders here, the mix-ins are the big change today. So you can now drink mix-ins without brewing them into the God Potion, and they give 3 times the buff, so it's not going to be like you have to do 3 times the amount of mix-ins, but they still have the same requirements. You still need Blade Slayer level 8 to get the Gabagooey mix-in, and all the level 8s for the other ones. But if we go ahead and get our hands on these, we'll drink these here in a moment. But God Potions now stack just like cookie buffs. However, there is a limit, so they will last up to a week. You can stack them up to a week long. After that, you can't stack them anymore, so don't go and drink like 500 God Potions. You can only stack them up to a week. You can go ahead and buy them in advance, but you can't drink them in advance after that point. Now, these mix-ins you cannot drink without having a God Potion. So if I were to not have a God Potion active, if these effects ran out and I were to drink a mix-in, but actually just pause the time on the mix-in. So let's say, since the God Potions last 28 hours for me and the mix-in lasts 86 hours, I drank this God Potion, drank all the mix-ins, and forgot that I had the God Potion, forgot to rework it, and I had the mix-in still active. The mix-ins would pause until I drank another God Potion. But let's go ahead and test this out. We'll drink the God Potion, go ahead and drink our mix-ins just like that, and we now have God Potion active for 65 hours. But that's actually not the biggest buff that this has caused, because they changed the way that it'll work on your private island. So you saw on the hub, our potion was slowly going down, but on the private island, if you look, they are all paused. You still have the effects, but they won't go away while on your island. So this is really gonna buff AFK strats. There are a lot of pets in the game that will buff certain minions that you have, so now you won't have to worry about wasting a God Potion if you decide to AFK on your island. You can get all the perks of AFKing without having to worry about your God Potion running out now. So major buffs there. That's not actually all that they did here. They did change some things with the enchanting system as well. So used to be, if you went into your collections, for example in Dark Oak collection, you would have in Dark Oak 7 the growth book recipe. Now you don't have the recipe. You can no longer make these enchant books. You just get them from the enchanting table. But when you unlock the recipe, or where it used to be in the collection, you will now get an experience discount for whenever you buy that. So if we take, for example, this smart skeleton soldier chest plate and we go to enchant it with thorns, you can see since I have the collection unlocked, I get a nice 25% discount. So it only costs 34 XP levels instead of 45. So that is a major buff. Nobody really used the collection recipes anymore anyways, so that buff is going to help a lot with the cost of maxing out your items. They also added a new recipe for the bone necklace. You can now upgrade it with 8 thorns fragments, so it gets 2 extra crit chance and 10 extra defense. That's pretty nice. They also made it so that a lot of the weapons from Arachne, the Spider Queen's Stinger, the Venom's Touch, and the Soul's Rebound can all be dungeonized now. So I'm very curious if Soul's Rebound is going to have some major uses, especially in Master Mode, but we'll have to see. They also made it so the Void Sword can be made into a dungeon item. So this is going to be really helpful for early game players, I think. You can just convert your Void Sword into a dungeon item, jump straight into dungeon, and actually be dealing damage right off the bat. If we go over to the pet house as well, you can see right here at Zog, the bubblegum has been changed. So it used to only work on power orbs, but now it works on deployables. So it includes flares. So if you want to double the duration of your flares, you can throw a bubblegum on your pet. It also gave Bia a pet, finally, not even level 100. What a noob. They've also done some buffs for Ironman players. So normally, if you get a flowering bouquet on Ironman after you've already got even better equipment already for farming, there's not really any point in using it. You can't use it on anything useful. But now you don't have to. you can just throw it in the composter and it actually gives 6,000 organic matter. So it's still not good to get, but you don't have to just void it every time you get it. It'll actually give you a little bit of compost. They also made a ton of items salvageable. So the netherrack looking sunshade is now salvageable for 15 crimson essence. Picconimbuses can be salvaged for 5 diamond essence. Blood chalices can be salvaged for 15 dragon essence, as well as pocket espresso machines. Treasure tallies can now be salvaged for 15 gold essence. Glacial talismans for 15 ice essence. Tarantula talismans for 50 spider essence. And scarf studies for 15 wither essence. Also here on the garden, you used to unlock the royal resident after going through the entirety of his dialogue, which takes literally like 7 hours. But now you only have to go through a little bit of his dialogue, which is I think the first 20 minutes of his dialogue. After you get through that, he will be unlocked on your garden and you don't have to go through the rest of it if you don't want to. Also, if you're on a co-op and you sell something, but your other co-op members also have things, then there is a new button to claim your listings only, so you don't have to worry about stealing your co-op's money. They also changed the personal bank right here to show your next interest. So that's quite a little buff right there. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, they have also nerfed the crystal hollows, specifically your nucleus runs. You can no longer teleport around the jungle temple. So I hope you already did those because it's a lot harder now. But that is today's changes. So if you guys learned something, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for getting us to 8.6 thousand subs. But we're going to push for 9,000 next. If you can help us out with that, I'd appreciate it. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. God bless.